Hi, and welcome to me, Jennifer Valentine-Miller, on another edition of the Jennifer Valentine-Miller Show on PRZ 109.2 FM. Hi, once again. Today, some might be mourning the loss of someone whose life has come to an end, especially on earth. You see, heaven is created along the earth. It is primarily God's dwelling place in the biblical tradition. Not everyone who says Lord will enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of the Father in heaven. And one group of people who want to be remembered at this time are those who are imprisoned, and also the prison ministries. And according to the head of an independent review into suicides in prisons by the Her Majesty's Inspectorate paper, it's documented that the rate since 2007 has increased by more than 50%. The percentage was drawn from over 200 new prisons completed during the reception screening, which indicates the primary or secondary mental health needs. The Labour peer, Lord Harris, was asked by the government to conduct a review on how to reduce self-inflicted deaths in custody. The major question that will be asked is, are there any interventions that could have been done which could have saved the government money by stopping mental health needs ending up in the judicial system in the first place? The BBC reported recently that obviously there will always be a core of prisoners who do need to be in prison, but if some of the others who are not inside, there would be more resources to make sure those individuals were supported and prison achieved its objective in terms of rehabilitation. The Ministry of Justice covers transfers from prisons to hospitals under the Mental Health Act of 1983. Their guidance also covers work with restricted patients detained in hospital and those discharged into the community. Now, the Orthodox Church in America claims that more than 2 million prisoners are being held in federal or state prisons or in local jails. Building and maintaining prisons is one of the fastest growing industries in the United States. Yet many of us feel that prison ministry is better left to the professionals, which is the prison chaplains, or those specially trained for this kind of work. The Orthodox Church also went on to say that everyone is called to undertake prison ministry because firstly, it is a biblical command. Secondly, many jail and prisons have no full-time or even part-time chaplains or any religious services at all. Even in prisons that have chaplains, they cannot possibly minister to more than a small percentage of inmates. And thirdly, statistics tells us that for every person incarcerated, there are 3 or 5 other people affected, which are families, loved ones, and children. The national newspaper for prisoners and detainees in the UK is called the Inside Times, and it raised an issue which emphasised and agreed that prison chaplains should have keen interest and concern for all inmates. Every prisoner should have the opportunity to speak with a chaplain. The article also went on to say that a majority of prisoners may not wish to avail themselves of the opportunity, that these people should be given the choice to say yes or no, thanks for offering a listening ear. Now, Kingdom Keys is a biblical teaching ministry, passionate about teaching the truth of God's word in a clear, practical, and effective way. They have found that through many people they met in prisons, many genuinely want to change, some convert to Christianity for the first time, and others return from backsliding into a criminal lifestyle. The team decide to deliver a 4-week course within a national HMS prison, and the theme for the weekend is usually entitled Battle of the Mind. Satan never plays fair, and the reason why it is so intense is that the greatest asset is the mind. I know what it is like when you're unable to hear God. My mind is distracted and I cannot seem to connect with God even when I want to connect to God. And I know whatever goes into my mind. So one of the most important we need to be learnt and teach others is how to guide, strengthen and renew our minds, because the battle for sin always starts in the mind. So from within the walls of Her Majesty's prison in Brixton, they're more than willing to announce that their prisoners are given access to faith-based services from the prison's establishment. Faith in the Future is their 6-week full-time resettlement course. It runs for 30 men, 5 times a year, and covers victim awareness, budgeting, parenting, communication skills, and employability. They discuss moral issues and have a moral code module called Christianity Explained. HMP Brixton went on to say that the course is open to men of any faith who are willing to explore from a Christian perspective the resettlement issues that might blind their minds or infect their conscience.